Chelsea Football Club have more hope that they can get Victor Osimhen, but there needs to be certain things that fall into the pattern, and Chelsea aren't even offering a swap deal. Then we've got an update on why Chelsea signed Renato Veiga and what this means for Ben Chilwell and Marco Correa. Very interesting stuff, because one of them is going to be going out the door. We've got an update on why Chelsea are happy with number one of Sanchez. Kepa's potentially going to Saudi Arabia, and I'm going to tell you why that's not true. The reality is the rumors are coming out, the sources are speaking that if Chelsea can, they will upgrade on Sanchez. We'll discuss that in great detail. And finally, the biggest one of all, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, go follow me on Instagram, that's in a pinned comment below. That's the best way you guys can actually interact with me and I'll respond. And more importantly, hit that like button. 1,000 likes is what we're expecting. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, bratochi. And a lot of people have really jumped on the idea that they want Victor Osimhen. I think Victor Osimhen has been linked with Chelsea for at least 6 to 7 months. We know that the player would like to come. The player wants to leave Napoli, right? And whether he wants to come to Chelsea or whether he wants to go to Arsenal, we don't know that for certain, but we do know he loves the idea of living in London. Enough sources have said that. We've got that information. More information is coming out from Fabrizio Romano, and Fabrizio is saying, look, at this moment in time, Chelsea aren't going to paying the crazy wages that Victor Osimhen's demanding. But more sources have come out and explained that Fabrizio's wording this wrong, because the sources that they have, they're saying it's not the wages that is the crazy part, because Chelsea would be willing to pay. It's the fee. Alex Goldberg was saying this on his playback, and he was explaining it in so much detail. He was saying how it's the fee of 115 million that's an issue. Look, I've spoken about how good Victor Osimhen is already, and if you want that side of it, at the end of the video, I've got a link for you where I break down the strengths and weaknesses of this player and how he would fit into our system. And I go into tremendous detail, and people have loved it, so stay tuned. Click on the link at the end of the video. It'll take you there. It's 10 minutes. It'll keep you up to date. However, there's no point in me talking about the fit. What I want to talk about is the fact that Chelsea have got two key decisions to make, and Fabrizio has spoken about them. Number one is they're going to look at Christopher Nkunku. They're going to look at Nkunku in pre-season, and if this move for Victor Osimhen happens, it'll be later in the window. They're going to look at what Christopher Nkunku does in the 9 position, because they want to see if he fits the Maresca way. Because if he fits perfectly, you have Nicholas Jackson, you have Mark Guehi, you don't need anyone else. You don't need to go and spend 115 million on euros on Victor Osimhen. And that makes total sense. That's just the reality. Furthermore, Chelsea are waiting for this price to fall down. We have had confirmation from Antonio Conte that there is an agreement with Napoli and Victor Osimhen that he wants to move on, and they're not going to stand in his way. We know that. So evidently, Napoli are going to have to honor their side of the contract, and they're going to have to reduce that 115 million euro fee. I think it's going to get closer down to 85 million euros, and then it's a matter of if Chelsea want to pay it. There have been reports in Italy that are coming out that Chelsea could potentially offer Romelu Lukaku, Cesar Casadei, and some cash to make the deal work with Napoli, but we don't know the extent of it. What do we know? We know that Romelu Lukaku is being begged for by Antonio Conte. Conte has publicly come out and basically twerked. He said, look, he's a phenomenal player. I would love to work with him. And to be fair, the best version of Romelu Lukaku we have seen was under Antonio Conte. He is the best iteration of Romelu Lukaku. He was lean, he was scoring goals, he was athletic, he was strong, he was intelligent. He was the ideal target man in a system where Lauti done majority of his running. So I am not shocked that Antonio wants to work with such an elite player again. It's just, will they do it? It's 38 million euros that it's going to cost to get Romelu Lukaku. Hence why people are saying, why don't they just include him in the deal for Victor Osimhen and lower that fee? Furthermore, Cesar Casadei. A lot of people want Cesar Casadei to make it at Chelsea. I don't think he's of the level that you can't sacrifice. I don't think he's an Andre Santos. I don't think he's a Carney Chukwuemeka. I don't think he's an Enzo Fernandez, Romeo Lavia, or Caicedo level player. I think this is a good player that in a good system will bang goals. And his reputation in Italy is massive. So if Chelsea offer that, it's just very interesting to see what would happen. And I included a poll. If any of you don't know, in the community page, I always include polls. And I asked, 60 million euros Lukaku, Cassidy. Would you do it? In the comments below, let me know. Would you do that deal? Yes, I would do the deal. No, I wouldn't. I'll know exactly what you're talking about. But that's the latest news on Victor Osimhen. Essentially, Chelsea will have to wait for the fee to drop down because the wages aren't the issue. The wages that he wants aren't crazy. They're not Nico Williams wages. So we're gonna see what happens and we're gonna wait. Since I last made a video speaking about Neil Bath's exit and what it means for Chelsea overall and how the restructure is happening in the new setup, Chelsea have made a signing, and it's a signing that has really rattled certain people and really pleased a different segment. I haven't seen the middle ground on this. It's very polarized. Renato Veiga has joined Chelsea. And who is Renato Veiga? Because I've never heard of him prior to this. So what did I do? I did a little deep dive on him. I understood what the player's strengths and weaknesses are, and I'm going to relay it to you. Firstly, I am no expert in Renato Veiga. I've not watched him live. So for me, we are literally going off what I've read, the comps I've seen, and more importantly, just the profile of the player. So please do not hold me to this. I don't know if he's good, bad, and I'm going to have no strong opinion. But what have I seen? Initially, he started at Sporting Lisbon. After Sporting Lisbon, he went on loan to Augsburg. And since then, he's been at Basel. He was the replacement for Calafiori. The player is a centre defensive mid who can play left back and can play centre back. The clips I saw of him, when I tell you this guy looks very comfortable in possession, I'm not exaggerating. When I tell you he loves a tackle, I'm not exaggerating. When I tell you he's very composed on the ball, I'm not exaggerating. He just looks very complete. However, I need to remind you, number one, he is 20 years old, I think turning 21 really soon. He's a player that has not played many first team games. I think he's played under 50, but this is where Chelsea aim to strike. Chelsea want to get the players young and cheap and then allow them to develop at Chelsea or at Strasbourg. What's going to happen is Ornstein says that Chelsea are going to view him in pre-season, and he has been signed as the hybrid left back, meaning he's going to be the one that comes into the midfield and plays left back when needed. So the Cucurella role. What does this mean for Cucurella? Chelsea are not wedded to Cucurella. Chelsea believe Cucurella is doing really well. At this moment in time, he's developing. If the right fee comes in, they'll move him on. The one Chelsea are trying to move on, based on the news from Fabrizio Romano and other outlets, like the United Stand's Sam, a very nice source, he's saying there are opening offers for Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell is a player I would drive to wherever he wants to go in England. If we can get him off the books, so be it. £210,000 he is not worth. His injury record is not trustworthy enough. Personally, get him off the books. I don't care if he's a vice captain. If we can do that, Cucurella is the starting left back, have this kid in Veiga being honestly just cover for centre mid, can play centre half, can play left back. We'll see what he's like, we'll let him develop, and we'll judge him then. A lot of people are saying this, we don't need this. I think we do. I think we needed another left back. I've been calling for it. Personally, the way I would do business is the way Arsenal do it, right? It really annoys me to say it. Buy 4 players, all ready to come in now. Chelsea don't want to do business. They rather buy 6, 7 players and buy prospect. That's their way of doing it. Their talent ID has been good recently when they've been going for the younger players. I didn't like the signings of the Sassy, the Sanchez's, but they're the experienced players. So it is what it is. We just have to be patient and see what Renato Veiga is like, and we'll judge him when he basically makes some mistakes or when he performs brilliantly. We'll judge him the way we did with Malo Gusto, the way we did with Barry Chile, the way we did with Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson, and we will have our opinion made at the end of the season. Chelsea are playing a risky game in my opinion. However, it is what it is. We'll judge you the way we judge every season. Finally, when it comes to Kepa Arrizabalaga, it looks like he is going to be going to Al Ittihad in what's it called, Saudi Arabia. It looks like there's been a life-changing offer, according to sources in Spain. The offer is massive, and the player has asked for more time to make his decision. However, this is very interesting because look, Chelsea at the moment have 3 goals, and the rumors we're hearing, the murmurs we're hearing from all the sources in England is Sanchez will be the number 1, Petrovic is the backup, and after that, Kepa needs to go. Well, this is an exit strategy. Marca said it is a distant chance that he could go to Real Madrid and be the number 2 because Real Madrid don't want to pay the money for him to be the number 2, around about 15 million. There's a club in Saudi that's willing to pay the money. They're going to give him huge wages. Kepa will go there. It'll be a massive change for him. However, it essentially means it's a different direction to his career. He's no longer at the top flight of his career, but he's going to be a very rich man for the rest of his life. He already is, but this will make him even richer. So if Kepa is going to decide to leave, great, because we get his wages off the book and it's phenomenal. However, then there is interesting. It's the stance. Jaja Salina will go out on loan again, and we got Petrovic and we got Sanchez. Unless Sanchez does an absolute madness, he is not going to be replaced. He's going to be our number 1. For me, that's a problem. I think we need to find a way to move either goalkeeper. Either Petrovic or Sanchez need to move because we need a proper goalkeeper to come in. The Dutch number 1 looks very good. He's been linked with Chelsea. He can play with his feet. He's a good shot stopper. However, I just want somebody that is reliable in goal. I always have this motto. A good goalkeeper is the difference between you winning a league or you battling for 5th or 6th. Because the quality of your keeper makes a huge difference. Your keeper will make saves that he shouldn't and keep you in games that you shouldn't be in, and then you go and win. Look at the way when we had Edu Mendy, right? That team was protected so many times and saved because Mendy was just on fire. And the Champions League run, he had outstanding games. I remember the one game in the Premier League, it was against Brentford. Mendy made around about 12 saves. We should have lost that game. We got a 1-1 and we got a point out of that game. On another day, we would have won that game. There were so many occasions where Mendy was playing outside his pay grade. He was outstanding. That just tells me Mendy only cost 12 million, 14 million, or I think less than 20 million. He was a cheap signing. You can go and find value for money. Just get me a better goalkeeper than a Robert Sanchez. And Petrovic, I like him as a keeper. I don't like his footwork. He's just not good enough to play the Maresca style of play. And with being stuck by default with Sanchez, and that frustrates me. However, I don't know what they're going to do. Personally, I hope we find a way to move him. Look, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts, and after that, let's get into it. But great news, we got Renato Veiga. Like I said, here's a link for Victor Osimhen's breakdown. I hope you lot enjoy it. Here's the link to Neil Bath's video, why him leaving Cobham is a massive, but not to the end of the world. And more importantly, in the comments below is my Instagram. Make sure you go to that link, follow me on Twitter, best places to interact with me. See you later, bye.